Good evening, graduates. Good evening. Good evening, my lovelies. How are you all doing? Wagwan pa watagwan. In the place, and I'm lock the window here. So I want to hear nice round out a door. How is everybody doing? Like up the live as soon as you come on. I soon turn the camera on towards me as the live builds up. We're going to talk about a few things tonight because, you know, I saw a video. It's been floating around for the past couple of days, and how silent we are on the matter. How silent we are on the matter. I guess because this case doesn't have viral printed all over it. Nobody not talk. You understand? Big up yourself. Okay, let me go through the chat and see who is present in the classroom. Is it because this not have viral on it? Why nobody not talk? Is it because this one is not going to be the one that is going to make the views go and everybody subscribe and everybody follow? Why it is that we are silent on this matter? Is nobody noticing this case? So we are going to talk about it because you know how we do things over here as the Purple Heart community. We deal with all cases of vulnerability and where our children are at risk. And as much as we come here and we beat Jaden Smith family day in, day out, because we know them behind what has happened to Jaden Smith, this does not mean that this platform has selective outreach when it comes to the rest of our children in Jamaica. And I'm gonna tell you, so people, when I see that video, you know, my blood just start boil. I don't know about you guys, but my blood started to boil. I do not know the backstory of what happened with these two little girls here. And I really would like a bit more information on the school and what caused what happened on the bus. Not that there's any excuse, but more and more we are seeing viral videos of our youth in situations where a beer war, a beer violence. And it is disturbing, it is worrying, it is concerning, because it coming like say, we just film them and make them go viral for the wrong things. And I'm hearing very little coming out of the Jamaica government in terms of how to fix what we are witnessing. And a lot of the adults then feel very hopeless about the matter. So anyway, we're going to talk about it. We're going to present some possible solutions in terms of how we can deal with this trend of aggression, this trend of violence towards our kids. And of course, I'm going to welcome the graduates' input. Let's go into it, shall we? All right, hold on 1 second. First of all, we're going to hail up everybody. Make sure that I big up my graduates. Then we're coming to class. Them never miss. 1115, big up yourself. Good evening from New York. The Malcolm, hi again, big up yourself. Hey, the Malcolm, you know some of it, you? What kind of age that you put on my videos? What kind of age is that? You know, so we're not happy with you, though. No, I genuinely carry feelings. You know, so me a Taurus, me carry feelings, you know. Yeah, me carry feelings. You know my feelings. Anyway. Vanessa, good evening. Big up yourself. My sis, child of God, how are you doing? And as she reminds you, please to like up the live as soon as you come on. Let me just pin your comments. All right, we're going to pin your comments. Hold on 1 second, un momento. There we go, pinned. Right, good evening to Natalie. Laverne said hi. Big up yourself. I see you. Carrie, wagwan. I see you. And as Vanessa reminds you, double tap the screen in order to like up the live. Nearly 50 of you so far. Please to like up the live. That's all we ask for on HDK's platform, to like up the live and bounce up the algorithms. Let me take my background off for a bit, because you know how it is. It's always spoiling the aesthetics. Like, stop. Like, stop. But occasionally we'll green screen. Sometimes we don't really need it. Right now we don't need it while we're greeting people. Good night to you. Let me see. I don't want to miss nobody, because the early birds, they always get their shout outs. Pauline, big up yourself. I see you. Barbara Finley, good evening. Natalie, Purple Hearts, I love it. Good evening to you as well. Norma, what's up? I see you. Flavia, good night. Good night. Young Pumpkin Spice TV, blessings. Block out the trolls. I have already, I think. Is it on subscriber only mode, guys? Hold on, let me just double check, because I always make sure that I do exactly that. Let me just double check. Yeah, it's on subscribers only, so we're good to go. But thank you for the reminder. I have the same birthday as you, HTK. Hey, birthday twins, birthday twins, Taurus, we rule. You know that, right? Like the best sign. The best sign. No disrespect to the other signs, but every sign thinks their sign is the best, right? Sonia, good night. Apple pie, good evening. Tia Tati, present and accounted for. All right, we're going to get started. So, me see one video, people, with a little girl in a bus. And she is wearing this uniform here. I am going to show her, and it's not because normally my policy is I'm not showing kids, right? But on this occasion, I think it needs to be shown, particularly because of her best friend and what her best friend ended up having to do in order to safeguard her. Or hold on, that's not the right one. Hold on, that one they're too big. That one they're too big. Is that one better? Yeah, there we go. Right. And I only partially show the other girl's face, but guys, I'm sure you've seen it. I don't know if you've seen this video of this little girl on the bus, our conductor who has now been arrested. This conductor, I basically thump the life out of Pitney, I don't know if you see the video, people. If you see the video, give me a thumbs up that you have seen the video. I cannot show the video, obviously, because of YouTube's policies. I cannot show such a video on this channel, but it has been all over Instagram. It's all over X, and I think occasionally you might come across it on Facebook before them block out the reel. But when I tell you, so the man work the picnic, you seeing it. Yes, did you see the actual video though, Natalie? When I said the girl sit down there and the man over and the man work the picnic like it's his child. You understand? And if it wasn't for this amazing child behind here, this little picnic behind here, if it wasn't for this little picnic right here, so the one that stand up behind her friend like a guardian angel, it would have been 10 times worse what the child in the seat was receiving. Now, I have seen a number of videos going on where adults feel they have a right to just assault kids in the street. I see one other video with a man step to a schoolboy and a whole gang of them step to him back and him never realized there's so much of them. I bad up the boy and I go out with himself and the rest step to them. No. This is not just about the adults that feel them can take liberties with our kids on public transport. Well, actually, it's government transport. But also about what is happening between our children. We are having a lot of loss of life. Bullying getting out of control. And when I look at what it is that the government is doing about it, is a whole heap of back and forth and chatting and no action. Now, one of the biggest arguments that they have is that a lot of these situations happen outside of school. And therefore, they don't really have much jurisdiction over what it is that is taking place. Now, first of all, how is it that on a school bus, a conductor is allowed to think that he can legitimately put his hand on minors is beyond me. Now, I would like to know from Vaz, this is a very legitimate question. Vaz, who behind all of the yellow bus them? Prime Minister Andrew Holness, are all the staff designated specifically to school buses criminal records checked? Are they considered to be people of merit and standards? And I'm not saying that even people of merit and standards can flip out, and do things, But I am genuinely asking, do you know the history, or is there a record of the history of the people on these buses who are in charge of these kids? The other day, we saw a video go viral of bus staff taking bus staff, bus conductor and bus driver, them fine in a isolated space with peer little girl picnic. Police have to grab up the whole of them and carry them to jail because they are preying on the little girls and doing the do out in the sticks and somebody going farm. And these are bus drivers and conductors. And listen, bus drivers and conductors of adult transportation need to be criminal records checked, much less bus drivers and conductors that are specifically on school routes. This is why I say that Jamaica can be very slack and don't really care about the future of our kids, no matter how much them talk. When I hear them talk about the fact that it happened outside of the school, so there's not the school can do, that is a lie. The Jamaican education system is based on the British system, you hear me? And in the British system, it states that head teachers, principals, executive principals of schools have jurisdiction even outside of the school when it comes to safeguarding and also when it comes to consequences of their students' behavior. The powers are not just within the school day and within the school grounds. Now, it is clear to me that the behavior management policy of Jamaican schools are sorely lacking. So our children are growing up indisciplined in their uniforms. Them no business. Them they are them a fight. Them a go in a shop. Them a thief. Come and see all one video with some picnic. Them just a shove things in a bag. And they in a their uniform. Just a shove things in a bag. Caught on camera. No respect for them uniform. You understand? Now, when I listen to children being asked who are their favorite artists, and you hear them talk about Sking and when next one name? The one here, Sean, and all of these people, right? And you listen to the lyrics that they're absorbing, none of which is about respect. None of which is about respect. As we are now in an era where in order for a dancehall song to go viral, them have to sing about throat back, them have to sing about taking people life, them have to sing about all kind of slackness. If it's not about putting somebody on a backers, nobody no want to listen to it. I listen to this artist on TikTok, upcoming artist. She's very good. And when I tell you she's very good, she's lyrically very good. She know how to write the rhythm and everything. Right? But literally 9 out of 10 of our lyrics is about putting something in our throat. 9 out of 10 of our lyrics is that. So we're ending up with children who are overexposed, under-nurtured, and going through traumatic experiences without guidance. Because a fight is a traumatic experience in itself. Much less a fight that results in one of their schoolmates losing them life. Look what happened to Outrage in a Outrage one day, the little boy. 2 of them are war on the road and one take a sharp implement and done the next one. Right? We're having now a high rate of kids going to jail. Higher than normal. More and more violence are going. On the city bus, hey, big up yourself, live and let live. On the city bus fight, the other bus fight, where it coming like say is about, me don't know, but 100 picnic. I descend upon one girl. Uno did see that? That was all over the X and I can't show it. You see, this is the thing. This is the frustrating part about following community standards and all of these things. Because sometimes you want to show these things just so people can really get a full idea, but you can't because they're going to flag the channel and all kind of things are going to go on. But I'm sure some of you have seen it. Our kids think it is right to mob somebody in a frenzied heat of an attack. And any leak could have lead to a loss of life, but them not think on them level there. All them I think is a bullying thing, is a vengeance thing. So them are gonna come out and do the most. But this particular case here also links to another big problem that is happening in Jamaica. We have got a problem with the tempers of our young people, the tempers of our people, period. Everybody thinks the only way you can be considered somebody to be rated is if you get dark like midnight. If you eclipse, at them time they alone people rate you. If you keep your cool, if you hold it down, people think you're weak and them think it's a bait. You have to come back and you have to clap back 10 times harder in order for people to rate you. And as the levels of violence and aggression gets higher, then the ante is getting higher too. So now we're up in the ante, we've gone from a typical fist fight to no weapons, to no unaliving, which is the ultimate. What are we going to do about it? A lot of it starts in the household. A lot of it. Because I cannot just blame the schools. Yes, there are things that the schools can do. Right? And we're going to get to that. But I cannot just blame the schools. There's a lot going on in our Jamaican homes. Jamaican parents need to have some understanding of parenting and how to balance discipline. This is a problem that has been happening for generations. It is a touchy subject. I'm telling you it's a touchy subject because 9 times out of 10, you're going to hear Jamaican parents say, am I back, guys? My internet just dipped. That's my internet just dipped. That's so frustrating. Am I back? Oh my God. That's so shocking. My internet just dipped. That never happened. I knew something was going on. I come look on my laptop and I was like, what is going on? Am I back? Can you guys see me, hear me? Can you guys see me and hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can, because my internet literally just dipped, which is so irritating. Right, let me look at some of the comments. Okay, I am back. I can see the numbers jumping up back. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know what happened. So let's see. I just heard students participate in a graduation ceremony. Which students would not participate? That was fighting back? Or the one that was attacked on the bus? Which student? Natalie says, and these kids are taking the cutting tools to school on the compound. Absolutely. Absolutely. But like I said, we're going to talk about a touchy subject, and this has to do with discipline. Disciplining in Jamaican households is not what you would call the politically accepted form of punishment, of consequences in the first world. And a lot of people, they create parodies about things like that. And by parodies, I mean that they do little skits making fun of how Jamaican families behave. Now, I don't know if you know the comedian that plays the role of Noah, the Jamaican comedian that plays the role of Noah all the time. He has another character where he plays the role of a Jamaican mother. He's always in a towel. And when he plays this role, he's the mother, and then this son is always I do something out of or whatever is considered out of it. Could be something simple. And the reaction is always a violent hand coming down and a box the picnic straight across the room, or a foot a come cross, or whatever, and followed by the words effing shit in reference to the kid. You understand? And we laugh at it, don't we? We think it's so funny because it's so familiar. It is so familiar. And that's why it's funny, right? Because we find it familiar, it is close to home, it is close to our memories. And often a lot of us are carrying traumas of this type of disciplining. But now we consider ourselves to be better people. We've grown past it, we've survived it, and therefore we haven't got a reason to be concerned because, as far as we're concerned, we turned out all right. We turned out all right. Now, I want you to know the difference between how we grew up and how these children of this generation have grown up. We spent our time outside. We spent our time playing, interacting, socializing, and learning each other. We spent our time playing dandy shandy, football, racing, skinning pupalik on the nearest pole, wherever the pole there might be. I swear that's where the original strippers came from. But anyway, we spent a lot of time outside climbing trees. Yes, we used to do all sorts. Our creativity was spent outside. That's where we learned to be creative. We used to have dance competitions. We used to do so much, and nothing was just restrained to school. It was also after school and so on. Walking home was a fun thing. It wasn't an opportunity to get battered. It was an opportunity to idle your time away, spending time with friends, right? Be it that you go around the corner, you go buy 2 socks. Who remember them time there? Well, we used to just go. There was always a lady. If it's not by the school gate, there was always a lady who would come out on the path where all the children were walking home, and she'd present a tray of the most colorful sock, yeah, that would quench your thirst and keep you cool while you're walking home. I'm talking about the beautiful memories we had when we were growing up. If it's not that, we're going past a yard where we know say plum tree there, and we know say mango tree there. And we are look for stone and try catch the latest, the nearest one, the nearest fruit when they're near the gate. Before we decide so we get brave enough and we want to go cross, go thief, nothing. Every picnic, do that. Right? As we are walk, there's a banana chips man, because every school have a banana chips man. Every school have one. We have a banana chips man. Hold on, guys. I'm not seeing the comments. Since that internet went and did stupid things. Hold on 1 second. Let me go on my other phone because then I can see everybody, and I don't want to leave you guys out of what we're discussing. Okay, yes, yes, yes. I see your comments now. Let me put you dead in front of me, right? We used to do these things, right? Every school have a banana chips man. Every school have that. We used to sit down and sit around each other and tell stories. Why? Because we never have social media. We never have internet. You understand? And because we never have internet, our imaginations fed us. Our imaginations was where we had to go when we wanted to escape our reality. And Nancy's stories were still told. Right? And Nancy's stories were still told. And we used to enjoy them. Dopey stories was a thing, especially if there was a funeral. There had to be a circle of kids being told a dopey story or two by some elderly person. And they were frightened the life out of we. You understand? But what was happening? There was a community connection. There was a community connection, and each one teach one, and each one raise the other. That is how we grew up. So for us, it's a very different cup of tea. Whenever we had a fight, that fight was often met afterward by some kind of peacemaking. It was never allowed to get so big that you get to go home to plan, to grab implements, to come back at school the next day for come do things. Because there was always that intervention of community. People would see people fighting on the road and they wouldn't just pat you. They would attack you. They would have said, what you do that for? What not fight for? And then would have start to find a way to come to some kind of common ground. We had parents outside of our parents. Outside of our parents. And I'm talking grandmothers, great grandmothers, aunties, uncles that were never related to us. Now we are in a society where our young people, they simply keep their eyes on a screen. Even here in a big foreign, it's a problem. They have no communication skills, and they also do not connect on a humane level to each other. A humane level, a human level, a humane level. And by humane, it means they do not know what it is like to just have a discussion with somebody who they don't know and just meet as a one-off at the bus stop. Because everybody's head is in a phone. They are getting used to information that comes at rapid speed. So now the stories that would have told them how to behave and they would have listened to the morals and realized that these are life lessons can't tell them nothing no more. Because they see too many examples at their fingertips where those life lessons do not apply. Where people do bad things and are still successful and still making money and still live them big flashy life. So as far as they're concerned, they don't need to listen to your little anecdotes where you're telling them to do the right thing and to use their conscience wisely. They don't need to listen to you because they're seeing other examples beyond your control at the tip of their finger. And the more their eyes are tuned in to the Western lifestyle of get rich quick and capitalism, they just want to get there by any means necessary. We were the last generation that would have fight in terms of grinding, working multiple jobs in order to do what we needed to do. When I was at university, I had 3 jobs. 3 jobs that I held down for years. I did not hesitate to make sure that I never had to turn around and ask my mother for send me. These kids, them not in a that. Them want either bangy line or chappy line or do whatever. Is the thing blurry, guys? Is the live blurry? I wanted it to tell me if the live is blurry because this one is the live blurry. I want you guys to tell me if the live is blurry. Playing, teaching with my trees and flowers, making dolly clothes. Ah, Natalie, I love something there. I love something that we used to make dolly clothes for love. You know, these things, remember, we used to take box. I wonder, okay, this is probably going to show my age. That's how you're going to know for real that I'm going to be 49. But listen, did you used to take a carton of juice, box juice, drink off the box juice, go around the playground and collect up every single banana chips, cheese tricks, every kind of chips bag, stuff up in the box, then seal up the box and go to the nearest wall and rub out the edge them on the box. And that was your dandy shandy ball. Let me know if you've ever done that. Okay, no, a little. Okay. Let me know if you've ever done that. Have you ever done something like that? You remember that something that Suzette? Yes. Rub out the box on the box edge because you know, so the box edge, if that lick you know that, you know. So you don't want it lick you know. You don't want it lick you, so at the end of the day, you have to rub out the edge them, so you don't lick nobody with the edge when you play that dish and they won't remember, say, cock up is a 10. Cock up is a 10, you know. But you know what? When we were saying cock up, we don't talk about jump over ball. And the most we used to do, people, is lap we uniform as girls between we leg car with the one the boy them see we panty or we bloomers. Because some we still did wear bloomers with the woolly for frill them panty. And we never want a boy see on the way. Because we had to also maintain our dignity even though we were playing these games. Now, cock up for young people is not a 10. A cock up is millions. Because they are seeing it as material barter with their bodies. So when you see little girls ending up in situations with bus drivers and conductors, it is that mentality of negotiating with what they've got in order to get the things them what them see online. I listened to, and I was so disappointed, and I'm not gonna lie, I was disgusted. But I listened to a live where Kipridge and Kizidon were in their bed talking to their fans, right? For those of you who don't know the topic tonight, that's the topic. We're about our children in Jamaica and the problems they're facing, the constant violence, the things that are happening in our schools and outside of our schools, and how we can do something to make a difference. But I was listening to a live with Kizidon and Kipridge. They were lying in their bed. They were on TikTok. And people them that talk about women, well, Kizzy was talking about women and what they must do or mustn't do with their bodies. I listened and I said to myself, I wonder if these people realize that I wonder if these people realize that they are an example on social media. I wonder if they realize that young people log on to TikTok and listen to them speak. Because people, me hear Kizzy dance say, me hear, me never, anyway, hold on a minute. And there's only 40 likes and there's nearly 100 on here. Can you the live? That is all we ask, that you bump up the algorithms. Why would I always to make content creators come on YouTube and beg on if I like up the live? You're all here sat, you're enjoying the content, you're listening to us speak, you're listening to us take the time out to come and engage. And a simple thing like double tapping the screen, we have to be begging for. You know, say it no fair. It no fair at all. Because so many of you cannot be on here and only not liking up the live. At least get the live to 50 so that it can start to climb in the algorithms. From Dominica, watching you from ATL. Big up yourself. Nads, God favor me. Big up yourself. Right? So like I was saying, guys, I sat on a live and I was listening to Kizzy Dawn and Kipridge talk. Kipridge was more or less quiet. You know, so Kizzy always in this whole heap of pink, fluffy business. So the two of them in their bed with the whole heap of fluffy. And Kizzy's advising women about what they're supposed to do with their bodies. Kizzy is telling people, say, if you know, say, every time the man asks you for peace and you give him peace and you make sure you ask him for 15 grand, by the time you don't give him peace, you have a care money. I said to myself, did she really just say that? And I kept listening, guys. She repeated it multiple times. She said, give them what them want. But every time them ask you, do so. Like she has said, Hannah, they do make me see. She goes, yes, Suzette. She said, every time, and I tried to screen record it, people, and my damn phone it full. I was so upset with myself because I wanted to complain for the ear for the self. But as there's a God in heaven, I'm not telling no lie. Only need to go. Probably there are screenshots of it on TikTok. All you have to do is look it up because she came on live recently. I'm talking about as good as a couple of days ago. And she said, every time you do so with your foot, stick out your hand and collect 15 grand. And if you keep doing that every time you collect your 15 grand, by the time you look, you have enough for either open a little business or buy a car. Mr. Almighty God. Now, these people are the people that the youngsters look up to. Remember, Kizzy, the one with the dolly body and all of that. And all these young girls, all of them want to look like a Kizzy Dan, right? All of them want to go to body. All of them want to change them color so that they're light skin. All of them want a dancehall artist. All of them want this. Yeah? She said, every time you open your foot, you collect. Keep collecting. And by the time you look, you can either open a business or you can buy a car. Now, as I reflected on that statement made in front of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Jamaican people, including youngsters, no doubt there would have been young people on that live. As I listened, I said to myself, what influence are you spreading? to the youth when you make those kind of statements? When you tell women that they must barter their bodies every time they have an intimate moment in order to survive. So is there nothing more to a female than that? So she is not capable of actually using her brain and using her skills to build herself. And she's not capable of having to grow without spreading her legs. Now, there is a point to what she's making, in that, well, at least you not lay yourself down for free. But we have to be careful how we present this information as advice without balancing the story. Because indeed, there are some women who this is their only choice, and there's no judgment there. But if you can get something in your head, as in educate yourself and push yourself academically, so that you can open doors for your future that are not bedroom and motel and hotel doors, eventually you can push your own Bentley door. I do not understand why it is that we are teaching our young people about pum pum purse, when it is that we're supposed to be teaching them how to open up their brains, how to focus in school. So when they see this kind of thing being perpetrated on the internet by their idols, their mentors, of course, in their head, this is the way to go. Because them see them people here a take plane like taxi. Them see them people here live a certain lifestyle, a drive big car, have man a look after them, because them not pay no bills. Because this is what she was saying. You want to be a girl that is well kept and looked after, this is what you need to do. Let's say she's going through postpartum, because there's no... That was no damn postpartum. That was Kizzy being Kizzy. It's not the first time I hear her say something like that. It's just that it's the first ever see her say it in the presence of her man. Her man was literally right there. I was like, wow, you know? So the question I have to ask is, what is the Ministry of Education doing in order to safeguard our young people, right? I touched on the fact that there is an issue when it comes to how we discipline, but there is also an issue with regards to how our schools respond to behavior problems. I witnessed the Jamaica College principal basically covering up for the bullying taking place at JC. On multiple occasions, there were excuses upon excuses released on the internet when it came to the behavior of some of the boys in his school. Rather than responding with a firm-handed no tolerance, zero tolerance policy and protocol, he kept coming up with, well, this Pitney did that, and that Pitney did this, and this Pitney did that, as though there's any justification for any child raising their hand to touch another child that they never give birth to. Me not understand. Now, it was pleasing to see that one of the children who was busy boxing up that boy in the bathroom end up arrested. Yeah? End up arrested and charged for assaults. So no doubt something is going to come out of that in the court system. But it's going to be a slap on the wrist because they're kids and this is probably their first offense, right? But I'm asking, how are we nurturing our children as well as educating them? Within the Jamaican household, it is so easy for you to just pick up a backhand just if you look for your parents funny. Much less to go back chat. You probably wake up in the next realm. Our parents are very light-handed. Not take much. Many of us, we adapt these things and we grow ours the same. When we travel to a first world country, we start to learn about the markers of abuse and what is considered acceptable and what is not considered acceptable when it comes to corporal punishment. Now, in some states in America, it's a gray area. and smacking is allowed. In others, it's a no, not at all. In some, it's only if you mark the pitney. In the UK, it's not so much of a hard line as opposed to it's about if you end up with situations where physical harm is determined. So that could be from a mark or the child being emotionally distraught and, incapable of dealing with it. So we have something called a CAF, which is a common assessment framework that basically looks at the needs of a child and to make sure that every child matters. All of these needs are assessed against any complaints of potential abuse. I want to know, in our Jamaican schools, do CAFs take place? What kind of assessments happen when children from a vulnerable background have come into school with welts on their legs because their parents give them a pass the night before? When somebody comes and discloses, "Daddy don't touch me there," what does the school do in response? How are the children being protected from trauma? And how do these systems feed into social services? The family, we call it CAD, used to be CAD. It have such a blasted long name. Sometimes I cannot remember the blasted long name because a CDA, remember it as, I don't know, CDA anymore. What name again, people? A white name again, CDA in Jamaica. I hate their name now. It's too long. Okay, so it's now the CPFSA. It's too bloody long. Child Protection and Family Services Agency. Do you know why they call themselves that? They call themselves that because now they're taking a family-oriented approach, so they claim, where they try to make the priority being to restore families and to restore children back to their families. In other words, it's an opportunity for them to do less work. That's what that is. They don't want to be yanking children away because they want to end up putting children back. And often they end up putting children right back in the abusive situation because they can't bother. But all I'm saying is, what happens to our children when they go through situations like that? Who is guiding our parents? Are there parental classes? Who is teaching our parents other ways of disciplining? Because it don't have to always be a situation where you feel that you have to physically deal with anything in terms of consequences. Often our Jamaican parents don't know any other way because that's how they were raised, right? Put your hand up if you get beaten when you grow. I mean, you want to get beaten, because I know some used to get it, right? And what if we get beaten when we grow? Yeah? Thumbs up if this was you. And then when our parents give it a beating, yeah, afterwards they come and all when they tell we say them are gonna beat we, then tell we for go pick up your belt. Now if that is not wicked, go and fetch it. Them send you for your instrument. They send you for your instrument of consequence. If that isn't traumatic in itself, I don't know what is. Susan said me. I don't know what is. If that isn't traumatic in itself, I do not know what is. I do not know what is, right? And eventually, and as our parents get older, them get a little bit more mellow and them no bother. Them just calm down. Them start to chill. When children grow up in a situation where love and violence go hand in hand, and they see it as an expression of love when a parent lick you, then licking not coming like nothing. You understand? And when they turn around and they release that frustration on other people, it come out 10 times more, and it grows and it grows. A lot of the things that we're seeing happening is how our children were raised. A lot of them raised haga taga, right? My children, they got a little 1 or 2 smack. After that, me no bother. As them grow, we stop. Because we found other ways. We learned other ways. We were educated on other ways. We got exposed to other ways. So that we realized actually we don't need to do this. We start to take things away consequences, privileges removed, increasing of chores, yes, having them earn things back that were taken away, because it's not taken away without any end, okay, making our consequences time specific and specifically for a reason, yes, so that the